Push at AP McCoy. Maljamara's Daryl Jacob. Three Mirrors Graham Lee. Crescent Island Paddy Brennan. Totter Whiskey is Phil Kinsella. Amy Gale Colin Bolger. According to John, Tom Scudamore. Leading Contender Tom O'Brien. Island Flyer Wayne Hutchinson. Peter Pole is Richard Johnson. Pretty Star Liam Treadwell. Alexander the Great Aidan Coleman. Daldini Jade Collier. And down to Oakfield legend Reese Flint. Take out 18 Montbéliard.
Very competitive handicap chase here, and your favourite is now three co-favourites. 3 Mirrors, according to John, and Peter Pole, all at 6-1. Money for Don't Push is at 9-1. 9-1 Maljamar and Island Flyer. It's 12-1 Starter Mahazen, 14-1 Barthos.
Race who would have run in the Grand National had he got his chance. Maljamar was first reserve. Had anything gone wrong with the top 40, he'd have been in. Sadly, they missed out. Nick Williams, his trainer, having to make do with this, but he's got an excellent chance. Ran brilliantly at Cheltenham.
Yeah, they wanted to run him in the National, but he did. He was just beat at Cheltenham, and he's a bit of value actually when you see he's 5 or 6-1. He's certainly got a huge chance.
Just a word on the few of the others that you fancy.
I would say Pretty Star for me, down the bottom of the weights. Jim.
Now the starter lets them go. Peter Pole, a fractional favourite as they set off on this 3-mile journey, and they all got over the first safely. And Island Flyer stepping off here in the lead, going up towards the second, which is an open ditch. Leading from Oakfield legend over on the far side, Daldini right there in the centre, and Amagale is gone. Amagale is an unseated rider. Up in about 5th position, Ashley Brooke, and then on the inside, the distinguishing green cap of According to John, as they come up now towards the 3rd. So the leader is Oakfield legend, with that pink cap over on the far side from Island Flyer. They match strides as they go over the 3rd from Daldini, and they all got over it safely. Back in 3rd is Daldini on the outside of Ashley Brooke. Then According to John, and further back in the field then at this stage Peter Pole, who's very handy. The riderless horse out wider. Peter Pole starting favourite here, making a horse who won so impressively at Exeter.
Yeah, Tim Vaughan doing something he very rarely does, running this horse from 2 pounds out of the handicap. Interesting to see the confirmed front runners up there, Island Flyer and Oakfield legend, ridden by the rising star Reese Flint.
Yes, Reese has got this in a very handy position. Oakfield legend leading them down the back. A handy leader coming towards the first one down there, 4th overall. And the leader over it is Oakfield legend. From in 2nd, Island Flyer. Ashley Brooke in 3rd, then Daldini on the outside of Peter Pole. According to John is next. A couple of lengths further back, Starter Mahazen. As they go now to the 5th. Then on the inside, Don't Push It in the McManus colours. The white cap there. Crescent Island is wider out. Pretty Star is very wide off the track. Turco is back in the field as they come to the 2nd open ditch now. Well back is Totter Whiskey, giving the leader a long start here, and right out the back is Maljamar, giving this leader at least an 8 or 10 length start. Heading now towards the 7th, and Oakfield legend led over it. Those stragglers at the back, 3 Mirrors is back there, and also well back at this stage, Alexander the Great getting reminders. Going across the top of the track now, and still in front here is Oakfield legend. From on the outside, Island Flyer up in 3rd then is Ashley Brooke, followed on the inside by Peter Pole. Further back, Daldini out wider on the track as they come to the 8th. Turco not that far away, According to John, just preceding that. The 3 Mirrors right out the back now as they come around the turn, and it seems to be a fairly even pace.
They're going a real good gallop here, Jim, and interesting here, 3 Mirrors for anybody who's backed him right out the back, and he seems to be not travelling as well as Graham Lee would like.
Coming into the straight now, and Oakfield legend hence to the 9th. Fear of Island Flyer on the outside. Up in 3rd place then, the inner is Peter Pole getting closer now. Clear then of According to John, and then out wide at Daldini as they come to this 3rd open ditch. Took off a fraction early, the leader. Ashley Brooke lost ground at that back in the field. Heading up the home straight, still Oakfield legend from Peter Pole. A gap then to Island Flyer, According to John, and then Starter Mahazen, Daldini in behind them on the inside. Starting to make some ground, Don't Push It as they come up towards this one now. Then a leading Contender who's right there in the centre. And back in the field there, we've got one that's pulled up, and that's Crescent Crescent Island has been pulled up, and Oakfield Legend leads Peter Pole around that turn with a circuit to go. According to John in third on the inside of Island Flower, clear of start of Mahazon. They're followed next by Daldini, feeling the pinch, then leading a Contender as they race towards the back. Don't Push It giving them a start, Pretty Star out wide. Meljamar starting to make some ground. So too Three Mirrors as they go into the back now, and riding a very patient race on Meljamar.
Yeah, riding a very, very sweet race, Darryl Jacob. Many people felt he got there too soon at Cheltenham. I don't believe that.
Heading down to the first one down the back there, the 12th, and the leader's jumping well. Alexander the Great not jumping at all well in rear, and the leader there is Oakfield Legend by 3 lengths to Peter Pole, who's very handy. 5 lengths away then in third. The outside is Island Flyer, and Ashley Brook has been pulled up, and Turco has been pulled up at the rear of the field, not going at all well, and Alexander the Great has now been pulled up. Heading now towards the next one down the back. Oakfield Legend in front. Peter Pole, though, jumping up on the inside, almost joined him. They've opened up a gap now of 6 or 7 lengths on Don't Push It. Then Island Flyer out wide as they come now towards the next. And he's really gone through the top of that. He took off too early, Peter Pole. He's survived, though, on the inside. And this is going to be a real battle.
Oh, it is. They've gone hard at it, these lot up front. And the ones behind need to make ground of these. This Oakfield Legend can keep up this gallop.
Racing across the top now, they've got 4 left to jump, and Oakfield Legend still there in front from Peter Pole. Let's see how he jumps this one, Peter. They come towards this one, and he's made a real mess of it again. His jump is gone to pieces. He's dropped right back. He's dropped right out, and he'll probably be pulled up as they come towards the turn, though. Oakfield Legend, Reese Flint out in front by 6 lengths to Don't Push It. Leading Contender is battling on in third as they round the turn now. According to John, Pretty Star and Meljamar behind them. Racing up towards 3 out. Oakfield Legend takes off, paddled through the top of it, but got away with it. 3 or 4 lengths clear. He's still responding to Reese. In second place is Don't Push It, followed then by Leading Contender, and a long gap then to, according to John, Pretty Star and Meljamar. Last ditch, and he's getting tired, Oakfield Legend, and he's entitled to be as well. Meljamar has been pulled up. They race up now with 1 left to jump. Oakfield Legend the far side. He's 3 or 4 lengths in front. Don't Push It is now starting to rally. They're followed by Leading Contender. A long gap according to John and Pretty Star. They've got 1 left to jump now. Don't Push It. AP McCoy takes it up. Comes towards the last now. He asks for a big one. He responds. And Don't Push It starting to race away with this. He's gone 4 or 5 lengths in front. Leading Contender goes into second, followed then by Oakfield Legend, but up towards the line, Don't Push It is a comfortable winner. From in second, Leading Contender in third, then Oakfield Legend. A gap to, according to John, and they're followed by Pretty Star. And they are the only finishers. They've finished absolutely legless. And a real hectic pace, as Mick was saying in the middle stages there. 9-1 winner, number 4, Don't Push It, in the colours of J.P. McManus, trained by John Joe O'Neill and ridden by the 13 times champion, A.P. McCoy. Second is number 11, Leading Contender, Tom O'Brien. Third is number 17, Oakfield Legend, Reese Flint. And fourth is number 10, according to John, Tom Scudamore. But Don't Push It. Here he is. He's always promised to be a good horse or to win a good race.
Very strongly fancied Jim at the Cheltenham Festival when he ran in a race over hurdles there. And this, you know, this horse he's always promised, and I'm really pleased for him that he's delivered.
He has. He's a big horse. He's quite often jumped very extravagantly, but today he's put it all together. Peter Pole, you saw drop out when he made that horrendous blunder 4 out. But here's Rishi down, welcoming the winner.
Winning jockey Tony McCoy. Tony, how much of a stamina-sapping contest was that?
Really good gallop. This horse is, we've always thought he's had plenty of ability, but he's, to be honest, he's really only ever disappointed us. So I'm pleased for John Joe. He picked the right race for him, has him spot on. Great training performance, and I'm more delighted for his owner, who I keep saying that this game would be lost without him. So if I could win another race in 45 minutes for him, that would be the best in the world, you know.
I'm not going to say any more, Tony. That was fantastic. Well done.
AP McCoy would dearly love to win the Grand National on Butler's Cabin, and there will be even more money for that horse now because McCoy is on the board. He's got a winner in the penultimate race, the race before the big one, the Grand National. Got in close to the second but met the last really well, and despite the fearsome pace set by Oakfield Legend, you got the feeling that AP was confident that he'd catch him, and catch him he did.
Yeah, he was just niggling him along turning into the straight, but he kept going really well, this horse, and as AP has said, he's promised to be a real good horse, and he hasn't quite done it, but he's done it today, the day they wanted him. But well done, dim colours. We see plenty of them with JP, but he throws a huge amount of money into this game, and he's a huge number of horses, and the one thing he would dearly love is to win the Grand National, and I would be thrilled for him if he did, and that man on his back, well, he would love to win it as well. There's John Joe. He's happy. His horses, he's having a fantastic season. His horses have been running well all season long, and he'll be hoping for a bit of luck as well in about 40 minutes' time.
AP McCoy won't even have to change. Wears these colours in the very next race in the John Smith's Grand National. He'll ride Butler's Cabin. Arguably the most famous colours in jump racing today, those of JP McManus. And don't push it. And just what will be his approach now? What will he do when he comes in? He's got 40 minutes or so there. Will he gather his thoughts? Will he find a place somewhere in the room and just think about it, or is it just business as usual?
He'll have some real racy blood going through his veins right at this minute, because he'll feel pumped up now, because this horse is always promised, and for him, for Tony McCoy, the big days are what really matter.
Indeed. He'll be attempting to win that Grand National again. It'll be his 14th attempt today. And it's something that's starting to nag a bit, isn't it? It's a bit like Frankie Dettori's Derby. It's a bit like Michael Stout's and Ledger. It's just starting to annoy this great professional.
Well, the thing is, there's not really a lot he can do about it. He's just got to hope that it's going to fall into his lap one day.
Time to have a quick look at a couple of incidents in the race before AP gets back in the winner's enclosure. Look on the left of your screen, you'll see Colin Bolger. This at the second fence, just goes straight through it, and I'm afraid Colin tries desperately to stay on, but his balance has gone. All his weight had gone over to the right side of the horse, and he parts company with Amigale. And Peter Pole had been making mistakes, and this was the one in second place there. Again, just doesn't get high enough. What amazing recovery from Richard Johnson, and that stopped him in his tracks. And actually the winner didn't jump it too cleverly either, but Don't Push It. Not terribly well named, because he needs a lot of pushing, and the man on board is certainly capable of doing that.
Well, AP McCoy back into this winner's enclosure. Don't Push It. He comes in here. And the crowd getting bigger around the paddock. This atmosphere starting to build.
Oh, it's almost anticipation now, Jim.
So a typical AP McCoy ride, never say die, wins the races at 9-1, Don't Push It. Second leading Contender at 20-1. Third Oakfield Legend 25-1, and fourth was According to John at 6-1. And I'm